Okay.
And so I'm going to pack that up. First, I'm going to make sure I have my surgery schedule, my patient information form that tells me who the patient is, the details of their surgery, and where the surgery is. I have got my box here for Dr. Koenig. I'm making sure that it's going to the Eye Institute that matches my patient information form. And now I just need my tissue. So he has accepted 576-100. I'm going to go over to our transplant refrigerator. It's going to be in our eligible for transplant cornea drawer. I have gotten 567-100. And I'm going to need the paperwork that corresponds to that. That is our surgeon form, our adverse report, and then the paperwork from the chief is our summary to physician, our slit lamp and specular form, and a specular printout. I'm also going to include the little yellow tag that will link a patient to this tissue. So I'm going to put the patient information form in the chart. I'm going to add the tissue number to it, again linking that patient with the recipient, the donor with the recipient. So they're getting 576-11-056-100. That was assigned today, which is the 30th. Then I'm going to go to the placement tracking form, which is where we keep track of where the tissue went. I have the tissue number documented. This is going to Dr. Koenig. I'm going to document the fee and then it's transplanted. It's going to go by Lion and it's going to be shipped today after I pack it up. I'm going to put a red tag on, which is part of our tracking process. That indicates that a surgeon form has been sent. We have not received one in return. We wouldn't expect it because the surgery hasn't happened yet. So my documentation is set in the chart. I put my paperwork together and I have my actual cornea. I'm going back to my box. And I need we always ship on wet ice, double bagged wet ice. Double bag ice. I'm going to insert a barrier in between my ice and my cornea. I'm going to grab the bag and then a foam divider. My tissue. Okay. Now I can start getting ready. So I'm going to fill out my yellow tag with a tissue ID number. Surgeon, Dr. Koenig. Patient. And the surgery date, all of which corresponds to the patient information form. I'm going to look at the fund of this, make sure it is 576-100. Make sure it is complete. And it is fully released. That matches the front of the chart. Eligibility determination has been done. Looking at the actual slit lamp form, making sure it is for the right tissue. It is. Making sure that the cornea is rated for surgery, which it is. We have an EK. This is rated for everything. Slit lamp form looks complete. Specular is for the right tissue. On the surgeon form, I'm going to put on our tissue ID. And same for the adverse reaction report. Okay, so I know the paperwork is correct. I'm now going to label verify to ensure that the label is correct, this off the summary disposition. So it's 11-0567-100. Hold on. I grabbed 567. I mean to grab 76. That's why you label verified.
You planned that.
I did not plan that. That is why you label verified.
Perfect example.
Yep. All right. 576-100. We have a 65-year-old. Date and time of death is 8/27 at 7:31. Death to preservation 8/27 at 15:50. I then calculate make sure that the expiration is correct. So 4 days plus 10 days is 14. So the expiration is 9/10, and that does match what's on my split spec sheet. Single patient use only. We have our contact number, where it came from. It says tissue not sterile, cornea is inoperable. We have our serologies. Looks like we have some extra. We have HTLV and HBV NAT, and those are both documented on our submitted. Just going to look at the cornea itself. Everything looks fine. The media is the right color. And you can see all of this corresponds to the checklist for this particular cornea. So again, the shipping container looks just a leak. The shipping temperature is going to be on double bag wet ice. Tissue packaging, that appears to be just fine. Label condition information, as you can see, I definitely have done that. Make sure I have grabbed the right tissue from the fridge. Tissue condition, everything looks good. I don't see anything on there. Media condition, again, we're the right color. No issues with pH on that. That's making self-evident. Donor tissue eligibility documentation. Again, I've already made sure that my tissue is released, and by someone who is allowed to do so. So I have the right tissue. I have the right paperwork. I always check it one more time, double check myself once it's in the bag. Just to be sure. And yep, everything is correct. I'll put my paperwork in the bag as well. And I put the ice, the barrier, the cornea, and then the paperwork on the top. And then I'm sealing it up with EVA and then ice tissue tape. Making that secure. Then going into my box for Dr. Canning. I like to put the please deliver to sticker on the top for Dr. Canning, so they know exactly where to take it. And all I need to do is document that I packaged this today at 14:08. Doing my line. I'll have the transporter sign when he comes, and I'm going to update the surgery schedule. Just linking again one more time that donor with. So that is packing tissue and label verification.
Very good.
Done and done.